Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. Flora is the latest character added right now. She is going to be very in a weird time and space right now because like we have a Pilgrim banner just went away and actually Grave banner is still going on right now, right? And then after her banner ends, most likely we're gonna have more limited characters with the Christmas incoming. So a lot of players are probably going to try to play it smart and skip her. However, let's give her a fair shot and see if she is going to be strong or not. Okay, look at this. No way. Oh! Volume! Huge! $60. Actually, no, it's $20.
I'm thinking of a new beat. Wanna hear it?
Wow. Is that huge or not?
Did you bring the schedule? Let me see.
Guys, is this huge or no? Oh, the jiggle is back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, FOMO guys. So she is going to be a bit restrictive because of her burst alone. You can see she's a 40 seconds burst 2. That means you gotta bring multiple burst 2 character to basically get the best use out of her, right? It is going to be a little bit finicky in that sense. You can see she basically boosts true damage by 42% and also recovers HP. So she's a healer and a true damage. However, 40 seconds, that means if only she's a 20 seconds cooldown character, she's going to be extremely strong. So one more thing is also, besides the 40 seconds thing, you need to position her in certain places. You can see she has an ability that affects self and 2 allies on both sides, right? So you have to put her in the back row. So I guess small minor problem, but you have to like reposition the characters in a way to basically try to get the best out of her. And you can see recovers HP right here, and of course HP restore, and all electric code allies get buffs as well. And one more thing is, she can also generate shield for all allies, which is kind of cool, right? If you think about it, similar to Crown. But there's a lot of other characters that can do that, right? Like Poli and stuff. Last but not least, activates when the HP of one ally is on both sides. This one also true damage boost. So she's pretty much a true damage buffer. But how good is Flora actually is, right? So let's compare her with a lot of other burst 2 options that we have right now. Now to test Flora, since she is a true damage buffer, 2 characters I can think of that's extremely strong. Number 1 is going to be Iron. She is going to fit that description, alright, because Iron right here is a true damage dealer, alright. So if you guys are not aware, she basically has these near feathers, and you can see right here, deals damage as true damage, alright. So true damage, as far as I know, ignores defense, and if the enemy has very high defense, true damage tends to be extremely strong. Now Laplace with Treasure is pretty strong, but she is going to be a very heavy requirements for investment. So she is going to be one more character that has the ability to perform true damage via her burst skill. So for burst 3 characters, there's not much character right now that can benefit from the true damage, but we're going to try to perform the testing. Probably Iron is going to be the better one because Iron is way stronger. So let's show you guys some results. Alright, so there's plenty of testing results right here, so let's go through one at a time, show you guys a couple of things first. Now first things first, you can see I tried with 1 burst rotation and then plus a few more seconds at 2 minutes 40 seconds. So all of these testing are going to be fair, comparing them within 1 burst rotation, because it's not fair to compare Flora with a lot of other burst 2 characters because due to the nature of her being 40 seconds, right? So she's not going to be able to consistently burst. So you can see in the first testing, Iron did 42 million, Flora did 13 million right here. I compare her with Crown. Crown provide way more damage, alright? So Crown is just a better character for Iron than Flora is, alright? And I was hoping that wouldn't be the case because of Flora's true damage buff, but it doesn't matter because Crown is just going to be superior. Plus you can see across all these other characters, Crown is just going to provide way more consistent damage, right? So 9 million for Noah right here, and then with Crown, 13 million. So not only is Crown better, 20 seconds, she also gives overall way more. But what about with other characters such as, in this case, Swimsuit Rosanna? Now I get it that she's a limited character, but still, a burst 2, I want to compare this a little bit. You can see Iron did 43 million right here. With Flora, we did 42 million. Surprisingly, Swimsuit Rosanna outperforms Iron. And not only is that, she is going to be a burst 2 20 seconds. However, her damage is a bit lacking, right? I get it that Flora can do a little bit of damage of her own, but you can see across different bots with Laplace right here at 7 million. With Swimsuit Rosanna, Laplace is doing 8 million. Alright, same for Noah, 10 million right here. And then the previous one was 9 million. So a little bit behind, alright? Not only in this team we can bring 3 burst 3, but you know, we are also getting a little bit more damage boost overall in this so-called true damage team. The reason why I am using Ayn as a scapegoat or testing character, because she's a true damage character, right? The idea here is Flora shines when she buffs true damage. But looking at this, when you put Grave, Ayn get 43. Flora gets 42. So in what sense would you use Flora over Grave? Like, Grave is literally a pierce buffer. She's not even a true damage buffer, but also she gives attack damage as well, right? Which is, Grave is much more universal than a lot of people think. A lot of people seem to regard her as only a pierce buffer, but she's not. She's actually more universal than most people give her credit for, to be fair, right? And you can see even Grave's damage is better. So there's just no way that if you got these two, and also she's 20 seconds, right? Not to mention right there. But I also want to give a fair shot to Laplace right here, you can see. So you can see 7 million right here, 9 million right here. But there's no way for me to make a fair comparison because one is 40 and one is 20, right? And you can see Grave burst throughout works for everyone. 8 million on Liter, 6 million on Liter here. Noir here is 9.8, Noir here is 13 million. So Grave literally boosts everyone, whereas Flora only boosts true damage. So the justification of you using Flora would be if someone has the true damage and it boosts that true damage to like extremely astronomical levels, to the point that it compensates for all the other characters not getting buffed, including Liter, Noir, Laplace right here. But this is not the case, because you can see Ayn did not get that much damage improvement. Maybe we just don't have like a true damage broken character yet, but let's do more testing, alright? And also right now specifically, Grave Banner is still there, right? So why would you get Flora when Grave Banner is still there? If you're looking for a burst too. Like, I'm just trying to be fair. Obviously, one is a Pilgrim, I get it. Okay, how about we compare Flora and Dolla?
It should be crystal clear who gets what.
Dolla. So let's compare Flora and Dolla. I think this is kind of fair, alright, in a way. So we're just gonna compare. It's still not fair because Flora is still 40, Dolla is 20, and Dolla has CDR. Ooh-oh! For once, Flora is winning. Alright, when we fight against Dolla, right here. So this is 37. So with Flora, we get way more, 42 million. So Flora is better than Dolla if you are buffing true damage specifically, in this case for Ayn. However, still keep in mind, Dolla also has something else which is CDR. Dolla also has, I'm just testing one burst by the way. This is one burst rotation. So in the long run, Dolla probably will be like better because she's 20 seconds cooldown as opposed to 40 seconds. And she also has CDR, which that means you can use burst 1 another healer if you want to. So it's probably going to be way more flexible like Pepper or something, right? If you want to heal. So you don't really need to worry about having Flora right there, right? Anyway, to lower Flora's cooldown, not at the moment, right? It's still fixed at 40 seconds. So that's one area that maybe can consider this. I'll test with Poli the Lolly. Poli the Lolly is regarded as one of the best burst 40 seconds character. So can we compete with Poli the Lolly? Okay. The problem with Flora also, you need Ayn. Ayn is kind of going to be there, right? I mean, I can test with other characters after this, but we just are going to see. So she is better than Poli, 42. Not that better to the point that it changes at anything. But to be fair, her damage is actually quite decent, right? If you look at her damage, so she is doing more than Poli. So maybe that could compensate with more in the long run. Noir, actually no. I think total damage might be this, because when Poli buff, the thing is when Poli buff, right, she gives attack percent buff. So Laplace deals more. You can see 8.7 here, right? How about Laplace here? 7.1. How about Noir? 9 million here, 12 million here. So Poli is probably going to be better than Flora, because Poli buffs everyone in the team. Obviously it depends on who you have, right? But the substitute of lag in damage in Ayn, that 1 million, probably gets compensated by the rest of the team getting buff anyways. So I think in the end Poli is still better. Even though these two are 40 seconds and you could probably use them together, but 2 bursts 2 though? So right here you can see with Laplace, Flora versus Dolla. I guess Flora is still better. Not, because Dolla is 20 seconds. 20 seconds. But how about Ein? 13 million here. See, because Dolla is buffing everyone else, right? Noah and Lita gets buff as well. 10.4, 10.2, 6.5. Just a little bit. But yeah, it feels really underwhelming, Flora's performance, even for true damage. Sure, you get a little bit more, right? Maybe like 1 to 2 million more. But everything else is substituted by Dolla's 20 seconds. So overall, what do I think of Flora? I don't think she's worth it, man. I don't think she's worth it right now. Maybe in the future, we'll get much more usage out of her if we have like better true damage characters. But for the time being, it seems a little bit underwhelming, alright? I was expecting her damage boost to be way higher for some characters that does true damage. Also, not to mention that we have access to Frima right now, which is another true damage buffer. Frima is a burst one, but she basically buffs pretty insane amount as well. You can see very similar. If you have her favorite item, she basically buffs true damage by 50% as well, and it affects everyone. So I feel like if you really want a true damage buffer, Frima might be better because she is 20 seconds, so it's easier for you to slot in other character, and then you can pair her with like a burst 2 CDR character, right? In that sense, if she is 20 seconds, I think it will fix majority of her issue. But for a 40 seconds burst 2 character, and plus Grave Banner is still right there, by the way. If you want to burst 2 if you want to burst 2 character, why not just go for Grave, right? She's 20 seconds. So there's just no justification right now that they put them next together with each other. I wouldn't pull for Grave yet because I think the every single day single pull is still going on, the free recruit. So wait until the last day if you guys want to pull for Grave to get like a burst 2, specifically if you're looking for that, right? Alright, so with that being said, that's going to be it for this particular video. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.